I'm sure all of you already saw it. But Nickmercs, he said, last time I didn't go far enough with my bigotry. Check this out. But I think it is, for better or worse, unbelievably funny because he's just he's so baby brain. I just don't understand how one person could be so confidently wrong. I just don't understand. I just don't get it. But I can't believe that the meathead trope is a real person that exists. I can't believe that he's real. Can you guys believe it that someone could be a walking trope? Oh my god. Anyways, I think it's very funny. So I really want to talk about that, okay? And everything relating to that.
The transphobe struggling against the trans game. There's no such thing as trans people. That's something that you created. So have fun with your little dreamland. But that's just not even real. Let me break it down for you, right? Penis, dude. Vagina, girl, done. Come in here with that fucking trans.
He's so confidently dumb. It's amazing. Penis, dude. Vagina, girl, duh. Come on, guys. We learned this in 3rd grade. Yeah, in 3rd grade science class. That's what we learned. Yeah, we also learned that there are only 3 states of matter, which is still true, right? This is my understanding of 3rd grade science holds true for all of science, right, guys? It's surely not an oversimplification for children, right? She's pulling the plasma. Oh my god. It's just basic science, not advanced science, but basic science. Yeah. So I'm thinking. First, I want to roast him a little bit. I'm sorry. I have to. He's still doing the thing that I talked about. I would have hoped by now he would have fixed it. But this is a professional streamer who spends the majority of their camera just focused on their forehead.
That's something that you created. So have fun with your little dreamland. But that's just not even real. Let me break it down for you, right? Penis.
There's just something hilarious about this clip for me. Like I'm sure at least partially it is because I'm cis, so I don't feel the transphobia as much. I'm sure maybe for people who have dealt with being trans visibly, this clip can be very triggering or very frustrating or, whatever. But because I haven't had that experience, the clip is just super, super
Clearly,
funny.
Nickmercs is well read on his Judith Butler and her idea that gender doesn't exist /s.
Like, look at this, like, penis, like... Sorry. I can't take him seriously. I can't take him seriously.
Let me break it down for you, right? Penis, dude. Vagina, girl, done. Come in here with that fuck.
I'm done. Okay, that was the last one. That was the last one. Okay. Let me break it down for you. Penis. Okay, that's it. That was it. Very serious. Very serious. Very, very serious. Oh, it's giving man, woman, camera, TV. Yeah. All right. Whew. Why? Why is the question. Can I just ask that question? Why is he still talking about this? Is it because viewership is down because people don't want to watch forehead cam? What is who asked? Who asked? I just want to know who asked. It's like, okay, we learned that in the 3rd grade, and then what did we learn in college in our biology degree? Oh wait, you didn't go to college or work in anything biology related. You're operating at a 3rd grade level. Understanding admittedly, cool. Yeah. It's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous. There's usually a pretty specific reason men talk about trans women. I mean, all I will say, okay, is that trans hate crimes have gone up and trans porn searches have gone up. Okay? I'm not judging. I am not a judgmental person, dog. You you jerk it to whatever, man. You whatever. That's your business, bro. That's your business. It's not my business. But if you're doing that, you're not allowed to be mean to trans people. You're not allowed to do that anymore. No. Those are the people providing you your entertainment. You're not allowed to hate them and be horny at the same time. No. Wrong. Incorrect. Guys like this who denied the existence of trans people finally looking it up and realized they're turned on by it is a timeline we really needed. Well, I'm not saying that Nickmercs is a chaser. I am saying usually a lot of the people who hate trans people also consume the pornography. I'm not saying it. And more importantly, that's his right if he wanted to. I'm not saying he's doing that, okay? All right, that's not what I'm saying. Someone else in chat said it and I was reading it out loud. But it is weird that those two things, the hating and horny pipeline, that's weird. That shit is weird. That's very bizarre to me. It's like the people who don't like service workers. It's like the people who love to go to McDonald's, but the idea of a McDonald's worker making minimum wage that is livable is like unbelievable, unforgivable. No, they have to work for me so that I can have this service, but I don't want them to get paid for it ever. Okay, interesting. I guess interesting strategy there. Mark my words, 2 to 3 years will come out, and news will come out that Nickmercs is divorcing. No. I mean, I'm going to be honest. I think the type of person that's married to Nickmercs either knows who he is completely and is herself one of the like trad wife people. The influencers, you guys know the trad influencers online, the pick-me's, you guys know what I'm talking about. The ones that are like, feminism is ruining this country. Also, I have a bank account. Those ones, right? I mean, people in here, how many people in here have conservative moms? I'm sorry to say it, but they exist. I know. It's a nightmare. It is terrifying. Yeah. I have a bank account. My mom isn't like that. I'd say she's more lib. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you get lucky and you get, parents that aren't actively bigoted. And sometimes you don't. But from this clip, guys, we had something amazing happen. All right? Which is friend of the channel, Crub, used Nickmercs' public information to see that it would appear Mr. Nicholas Merkelis got forgiven for a $73,000 PPP loan, despite being one of the most successful streamers on the platform. Ooh, so crazy. No, handout Andy, what is this? I'm really enjoying the pull yourself up by your bootstraps conservative dad bit you're doing, Nick, but I'm glad to see deep down you're still one of us enjoying your government benefits. Your Honor, he ate, I'm afraid. I'm afraid he ate. Should have waited on taking that out until this year, man. Seems like things aren't going so hot. And then he posted Mr. Nickmercs's view counts. Oof, ooh, oh, followers gained minus 500. Oh, that number is supposed to be positive. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah. Yeah, that's tough, man. That is tough. Limiting replies to save you guys from excessive G Fuel lead poisoning. Oh gosh. Anyways, yeah, I do think it's funny, and I do think the people responding being like, "What's the problem? Like, so what? So what?" It's like you recognize that these ideologies are not they don't work together, man. Like, what do you why are we looking at GameStop stocks? No, bro. You don't understand. If I hold long enough, it'll pay out, man. All right? Stop. Taking out a triple. I always want to say triple P. PPP loan during the time of peak live content viewership. Ooh. Finally. Oh, sorry for yelling. Okay. Finally, somebody else has mentioned it. I have never seen anyone else mention it, but it every time I see it, it makes me lose my mind. He talks big for someone who can't even frame his camera properly. I'm so happy I've finally seen someone else talk about this. I can't believe it. I just can't believe it. I can't believe that he hasn't bothered at any point in his career to be like, man, I should get a wider camera. So my whole face is in the camera. Like, forehead streamer. Not gonna lie, I think it's part of the bit. You say that, but I don't think so. Gosh. Anyways. A lot of people going in on him. A lot of people going hard on him. Understandably so, might I just add, okay? Because in my opinion, saying this shit is like, I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna be a little surprised if Twitch doesn't ban him over this, because this just feels like hate speech. Saying that, like, oh, go live in your fantasy land because that shit's not real. You're contributing to, like, the idea that trans people don't deserve healthcare. You're contributing to the idea that, like, trans people don't deserve to be respected. It's not just your opinion if your opinion is causing other people to live worse. Right? When you're contributing. Wait, he said that on Twitch? Does he not stream on Twitch anymore at all? I know he started working with Kick. He said it on Kick. He does both, I think. Let's check. Yeah, I mean, it was streamed on Twitch. I mean, he's been streaming Elden Ring on Twitch. So also that's kind of a little bit irrelevant just because Twitch has historically banned people off their platform for things they've done on other platforms. He did this during last Pride Month. It's engagement bait for bigots. So normally I would totally agree with you, but I think actually this is the one instance where I think he's too dumb to plan that out. I'm pretty sure it's just that Pride Month rolls around and then he sees rainbows and then he gets really mad about it. I don't really think that he's capable of doing any more long-term type of thinking on that type of thing. Maybe I believe that his manager would do it. I might believe that. I might believe that his manager would tell him like, "Ooh, spooky rainbows," and then he would get really mad every year during the same time. That I believe. Miles is done. Thank you for the gift sub. Thank you. And mine, thank you so much for the 8 months. Girthburgers, thank you for the 16 months. So I'm kind of honestly, I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised if Twitch doesn't ban him. To be honest. Because there is a difference between insulting someone and like basically bullying, and this is just hate speech against a protected class. So we'll see, I guess. We'll see. We'll see what Twitch does. I did think this response was of note. Trying to find it. Oh my. No, Twitter, I didn't want porn. No. Nickmercs is the first person to get CTE from streaming. Nah, that's crazy though. Like, no, but that's kind of crazy. I'm gonna be honest. Actually, that's pretty insane to me. What's CTE? I'm dumb. CTE is the thing that football players get. It's just brain damage, basically. It stands for chronic trauma encephalopathy. Basically, just constant brain trauma from head injuries. It makes you dumb. Sorry to say that. I don't know how else to say that. Oh gosh. Okay. I thought this response was of note. Chris now goes by Ava from the Mr. Beast team. Quote tweeted him and said, "Me chilling in dreamland with all the transgenders." I thought it was funny. Okay. What's your usual positions on things? Progressive. It's like dropping your computer too many times. Oh gosh. And then he's getting roasted and toasted on Twitter. And as you would imagine, he decided, okay, this is the perfect time for me to double down. This is the perfect time to make sure that everyone knows that I saw what they said and I don't care. So let's see it. Where is it? It should have been... I had it open. I got it. Let's go. Here it is. Wait, there was a version from... There was a longer version. I want to find it. I'll see if I can find it, but let's watch this one first. Jake Lucky on Twitter had it. Yeah, that's what I was looking for, but I'm struggling to find... Oh, here it is. I found it.
90% of the tweet.
Thank you. All right.
I seen on your side last night. That's the thing, though. I don't care about people agreeing with me. You know, I don't really mind. It's fine. You know, there's going to be people that disagree and people that agree. I don't care about the percentages or the cuts or whatever. It doesn't bother me. You know, I feel a certain way about all that. And I've said my piece, and I will remind these fucking people. that, again, the little dream fantasy bullshit that they're living in is not real life, and not everybody has to dance to their tune. That's not how that works. You don't get to go around and point your finger in people's chests and say, hey, you live in my world. You think the way that I think. You believe the way that I believe. No, no, no. That's not how that works. That's not how that works. It never has been, and it never will be. So
Do you think Nickmercs has ever spoken to a trans person in real life, ever? I like the idea of like running into a random trans person in public and they're like, you live in my world. You will respect me. Like, as if any trans person would ever do that. He is 1000% right. Dude, so true. So true. If you have brain damage, that is. Famously, that's what we do. We go up to random cishet people and tell them we own the world. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, so stupid. Oh my God.
if you guys want to live like that, go ahead. Do what you want to do. Not me. And I don't need people to agree with me. I don't need no echo chamber bullshit. This is the way that my wife and I feel. This is the way that my family feels, the people that are closest to me. And we're going to speak our fucking piece.
Sorry.
And that's it. And it might be a thing.
I am a serious commentator. Okay, guys. I'm a serious commentator talking about serious issues. This is not funny. No. No, this is serious, guys.
That goes around, you know, like, look, it's June. I get it.
Pause and read his chat. It's so funny. His chat is so hilarious, by the way. You're right. Thank you for telling me to do that. Look at this guy. I'm so glad you speak up, Nikki. Damn, they're cool like that. Him and his chat, they're kind of cool. Nikki. Okay. But I'm worried they're gonna silence you. We a minority. I have a penis and I love Nick. What the fuck? Stop. Wait, what is this? Wait, that was a comment. Oh. I was wondering why you guys were typing that in chat. I just realized someone typed it in his chat. Wait, we have to get a zoom in on this. Wait, this is so funny. W. Now go beat the shit out of Melania, sir. Like, dude, his chat's the type of people that spend like $10,000 on those like alpha male like retreats. And it's just like for one guy to like yell at you. I have a penis and I love Nikki is a crazy chat message to type in Nickmercs' chat. That's crazy to type that. I like the one that says mental illness. I like the idea that he's talking about Nick. Okay. All right. I'm done. What were we? We were on something, but I don't remember what we were on. So let's just go back a second and listen.
Do what you want to do. Not me. And I don't need people to agree with me. I don't need no echo chamber bullshit. This is the way that my wife and I feel. This is the way that my family feels, the people that are closest to me. And we're going to speak our fucking piece. And that's it. And it might be a thing that goes around, you know, like, look, it's June. I get it, man. Everybody's like, woo. I mean, I don't fucking care.
I've listened to that section like 10 times now, just because it's been all over my fucking feed. And what does that mean? Like, it's going around. Is like the gay going around? Like, does he think people are? They're like, June. Oh my God, it's time to be trans. Like, I don't. What could be? I don't know. Anything could be happening inside of that brain. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know. Also, you can tell somebody doesn't care when they say that they don't care 6,000 times.
I don't give a fuck about June. And they're up here always talking about like, yo, I'm trying to piss him off. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
He really did like, You know, for someone who loves to be like this manly man, I love when he has his woman moments. Like, this is such a cunty woman moment. You know what? And one more thing. Like, honestly, it is June. Yes. Yes. You should embrace your drag queen persona. Okay.
Huh. I don't care what you do. Stop telling me about it. Right? I don't care. Do what you want to do. Live and let live. Shut the fuck up, though. How about that? Shut up. Otherwise, you open the door to fucking criticism. Just like I am now. So these people that are tweeting me crazy, go ahead. Tweet all the crazy shit you want. It's not going to change my opinion of you. I still feel the same way. In fact, like, do you know how many people are like, oh, bro, wait till your kid's gay. Oh, I hope your kid's gay or trans. Like, yeah, that's what we're talking about. Hello? You're proving my fucking point. I know you.
You can't make someone gay or trans by thinking it. What? What are you talking about? Does he think we're like gonna psychically try and induce the trans in his kid? Like, staring at like the hot chick at the Starbucks. Sorry, not the Starbucks. The Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, come on. You want to be a lesbian so bad. Oh, you want to date women so bad. You don't want to be straight. As if you can just do that. I cast gay spell. Like, what? Here's the thing. Even if people thought you could do it by putting a bunch of gay people in TV and a bunch of trans people in TV, and that's why they were doing it, it doesn't matter because that's not what happens. First of all, no one's doing that. Second of all, it doesn't matter how much gay people you see. It doesn't matter how many gay people you see. You're either straight or you're not. Seeing it doesn't like change you fundamentally. It just makes you realize, oh yeah, that's fine. Or, oh, that's what I am. And when you see shit that doesn't impact you or that doesn't change you, they never talk about that. They never talk about the hundreds, probably at this point, hundreds of thousands, or like in America, maybe even millions of progressives that are cis with trans friends. Like, if it could just infect you, you think you could just cast charm person? Like, no, man. If that was the case, wouldn't all of these people now be trans? Wouldn't all these people be gay? Come on, man. Come on. Come on. Oh. What exactly is this point that people are brainwashing children to be gay because they hoped they would be to teach them a lesson? If so, I'm still confused. Yeah, I mean, his idea is just like, see, what we're mad about is that you target kids with this shit. But what he doesn't realize is it doesn't, first of all, nobody's targeting kids. Second, even if they were targeting kids, you can't make someone who isn't trans, trans. You can't make someone who isn't gay, gay. If you're straight, it doesn't matter how much gay shit you see. You're not going to suddenly become gay. You're already straight. Is like, hello? Your kid watched Powerpuff Girls and now he's gay. Well, he was definitely gay first. Yeah, I mean, it's just silly. It's just ridiculous. But let's finish the clip.
You do. You fucking moron. It just, dude, there's a very small amount of brain cells. It's just criminally online people, you know. And it's sad. It really is sad. I shouldn't laugh too much at it. It truly, truly is sad. And I mean what I say. I'm very much so gonna pray for these people. But, dude, just lost, man. In the sauce, at the bottom of the spaghetti bowl, man. Just trying to fight their way out the pasta. You know, no hope, zero, man. What can you do though, man? What can you fucking do?
Truly, what can you say? Indeed, what can you do? Indeed, I totally agree with you, man. It's so true, man. I'm gonna join you in that prayer circle. We are gonna pray the gay away. All right. You will stop thinking about sucking dick. I promise you. We will make sure it happens. All right, man. Oh gosh. Okay, so before I talk about any of this in a serious manner, because I think a common idea is like, oh yeah, well, you leftists sure can disagree all you want, but at the end of the day, the facts are on my side. And obviously, anyone who has tried at all, any time at all, to learn about this stuff to see what it was about knows that it's not something people are making up and it's not something that's like infecting the kids. And that's fucking stupid. But before we get into that, what the fuck is this? This has to be photoshopped. No. No, this has to be photoshopped. He's missing the factual cortex right here. Dude, he's so Neanderthal coded, real. Like, he just looks like he wants to say unga bunga. He just looks like he belongs in like the Natural History Museum. Like, I feel like I want to look inside and see like the wax figures, and it would be him. Just, it's just crazy. It's just, there's something about it. It's just crazy. Anyways, what were they gonna find? Oh, right. Yes, yes. No, wait, I didn't mean to do that. What? Stop it. Where did I put it? Oh, I remember. Okay, sorry, guys. My brain is cooking. I wanted to say two things. Number one, I said this on the clip because I thought it was funny. Wait till this guy finds out about race. And I will admit, guys, I engaged in a little bit of bad behavior. I posted this specifically to farm people saying, but race is real. And it happened. It was so sick. I have never successfully gotten so many people to be totally baited. Like, this is a hard day's work. It's honest farming, okay? It's honest farming. Fenland, thank you for the 12 months. That's actually real, though. Race can be on a spectrum. Biology cannot. Race is a lie. What? That there is one, the human race? What is called race today is just a tone of your skin. Just more or less melanin. So close. Race is even less binary than gender. So why can't someone be transracial? A woman's logic. I legit have no idea what this even means. I respect you, Honey Badger 3222. I respect you. Honestly, that's totally fair. Wait till you find out what race is. You're so mad, and it's hilarious. Crying, laughing emoji. I hate to say it, but this tweet is evergreen. Hold up. When someone uses this emoji, they're more mad than they've ever been in their entire life. This shit is real, okay? It's only people that you know are actually secretly super pissed about something that use that. Crying, laughing emoji, prayer emoji. Completely different, question mark. Race is real, though. Race is real, though.
DNM love, DNM love, DNM love.
What is this? You want to know something wild? You can close Twitter and your life will be unchanged. Goodbye. Is that like a threat? I'm so confused by this one. This one doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Kid, thank you for the 8 months. Yes, I'm going to talk about what is it called? The woman who got she lost her job because she said the N-word, which I think I have a lot of opinions on, but gosh, sorry. I thought it was very funny. This tweet was basically, I mean, you guys already know, but this tweet basically is just saying, hey, we made up gender. You're right. This dreamland, actually, it's everything around you is what we made up. Everything. And you can't even remove the stuff that's in your brain that society gave you that we made up. Like the fact that you wear a cap under your headset, that is cultural, that is a gender norm that you are subscribing to, that you have no idea you are subscribing to. And it's everywhere. I know you think it's not real because you are not aware of it and the way that it impacts you, but it's real. In the way that it impacts you, it's not real in the way that we made it up. But that's also everything that is culture. Just like there are not these hard binary groups. We kind of just made up race as a way to talk about ethnicity and culture. But race, your like skin tone, we made those random groups up. Just like we made up the culture that surrounds us. I mean, each individual different grouping, but that's not a thing. We also did the same thing with gender. Explain this in Fortnite terms. When you Tomato Town genocide or something? I don't know. I don't play that game. Yeah. We're all the same skeletons in the end. Actually, if you're trans, your skeleton is not the same. Just so you know, when people dig up your bones thousands of years from now, they'll be like, that's this gender bones. So get fucking owned, dude. Get owned. Think about it that way. To the point where what's considered white changed like 16 times in the last 200 years. Yeah. It's gender roles are made up. Gender groupings are made up. We did not get like a manual. When you are not given a human being manual when you're born. We just kind of have like all these different types of things that can happen, that you're still a human being and you're still part of the human race. But you grow up in these cultures with these different attributes, and then we group people arbitrarily based on different qualities. Same thing with biology. You're not born with like a sticker on you that says girl. You're born with this stuff, and a lot of people that have the same stuff get grouped together. That's it. There's a reason it's not called a womanual. Yeah. Even biology is this way. There's no innate order that demands we separate the species by how they reproduce. Humans chose to do it because it seemed useful to them. So actually, animals are a great way to talk about this, because there are weird animals like platypuses that are not mammals, but they're not birds. And we're like, yeah, like, well, let's see how a mammal is defined. It's defined as a warm-blooded vertebrate animal of a class that is distinguished by the possession of hair or fur, the secretion of milk by females, and for the nourishment of the young, and typically birth of live young. The reason why it says typically there is because for some reason platypuses lay eggs, even though they meet some of the other qualities. As an example, it lays eggs, but it also nurses. Very weird. Very weird. I gotta say, top 10 coolest animals. Definitely the type of animal that like I would have made when I was 3 years old. Sick animal. At God. Great job getting them on the ark. Here we go. Platypus, sometimes referred to as the duck-billed platypus. is a semi-aquatic egg-laying mammal endemic to eastern Australia, including Tasmania, and then some other nonsense, and then together with the 4 species of Echidna, it is one of the 5 extant species of monotrematous mammals that lay eggs instead of giving birth to live young. There was at least a period of time where we were like, yeah, you give birth to live young. You know, sometimes we'll have hair, sometimes we'll not. You nurse, you're a mammal. And then platypuses come by and they're like, check this out. Nursing and egg laying. I know, crazy. And we're like, dude, we're trying to group these fucking animals and you're making it really hard. Why can't you just fall into one of these categories neatly? God fucking damn it. And it's almost like you're just going to do the best you can with grouping. That's it. Because we can't do any better job. We can't. You just do what you can. And all of these things exist. And there is a natural human desire to put things into categories. They're also venomous. Are they? What the fuck? That's crazy, dude. Platypi? How do you refer to multiple platypuses? I don't know how to feel about saying pusses. Platypussy. That's crazy. Perry the platypus. I'm not going to say it.
My truly Deanbo, the platypus is obviously all the animals that didn't make it to the ark all glued together. That's why they love water.
Real? Real. Okay. What was I trying to say? Oh yeah, gender and grouping of gender is like very weird, and the human condition is very weird, and the idea that
Australia isn't real.
You want female and male and those associations to be woman and man together so badly that you're just refusing to believe anything else. And you're refusing to accept that human beings do not fit neatly into any groupings. Just like any other animal in the animal kingdom, we do not fit necessarily neatly into groupings perfectly every time. And I kind of wanted to talk about a couple of things, right? So the first thing I wanted to talk about, let's see. Okay. The first thing I wanted to talk about on the topic of sorry, I'm remembering the Tim Tatman clip because I made that tweet as well. It was very funny, I think. But first, right, ADHD brain today. If you try to look at any of the science on any of the stuff relating to trans people, because there's a lot of medical research that has come out in the past, I would say like 2-3 decades about trans people, because this is the first time that they have really been visible in the United States and have been a respected class ever in the US. So currently we have way more research onto the topic than we've ever had before. Similar to, I would say, something like anything that's been in the DSM has changed so much over time, and we've removed a lot of things out of those categories. So our understanding of it can expand because we aren't just immediately writing it off as like a million other things that it could be. So hysteria as an idea. For the longest time, oh yeah, female acting weird, maybe depressed because we're having them stay at home all day, as an example. Okay, we need a lobotomy because this is a clear instance of hysteria. We decide maybe it's not just hysteria. Maybe actually we don't just give a bunch of dildos and vibrators to women for their hysteria. And maybe we think about the fact that they might be dealing with something else, right? Okay, let's go. Let's go for it. Oh, wow, there's all of these other interesting things that we didn't know existed because we just immediately wrote it off. Or a very good example, in my opinion, is depression. Did anyone else grow up with like family members who didn't believe depression was real? And their stance was just like, go outside, everyone becomes sad. For a very long time, nobody believed depression was real. And for most of us, who won't experience depression, thankfully, maybe you'll have depressive episodes, And yeah, the advice go outside actually probably would be helpful, but not everyone has just small bouts of it. Some people have chronic depression and they have been trying everything and nothing works. And literally their brain chemicals refuse to give them dopamine. What do you, Denims, my uncle told me depression is a white people's disease. Oh, stop. Oh, stop. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Look who finally decided to come out of their cave. Yeah. Yeah. So there's that. When you classify being trans as a mental disorder, what do we do to it? We do the same thing we do to it that we do with all the other mental disorders. We just say, go outside, do normal human things, and surely you will become normal. When you suggest, wait, maybe it's not just like a disease, and maybe actually this is just part of the human condition. Some people just want this, and there's nothing wrong with that. Okay, well, let's see. Let's study it. Let's see if these people aren't just lying about it. Let's see if maybe the feeling is really genuine. Okay, sure. And that's why there's countless instances of people who I think today have been transitioning later in life. And it's because those are people who grew up at times where being trans was not a thing. Like nobody spoke about it, nobody discussed it. And maybe if you were shown in any media ever, it was in a joking way against you. So yeah, your perspective on it is just going to be, well, maybe if I just pretend to be happy and live my life as someone who's cis, maybe the feeling will go away. Maybe people are right. And a lot of the older trans people that I've spoken to who transitioned later in life talk about this, talk about spending like a decade trying to perform the gender role, only to realize that there is no performance that will get rid of their dysphoria. That it's not that they don't have enough kids. It's not that they can't provide for their kids. It's not that they're missing family. It's not that they're missing hobbies. It's not any of these things. It's that there is something more core that cannot be made to go away with just simple solutions like that, right? I'm 45-year-old black man. My dad told me, you're a black man. You can't afford to be depressed. Okay. That one isn't even rejecting that depression exists. That one's just like the reality of being poor. That's just real true. Okay. Also, why do you have to force yourself into a box? Just be yourself and do what you want. Yeah. 36 here, 4 years on HRT. I'm still not out in the meat space due to fear. I mean, yeah, I know that the other thing that I feel like your 20s are spent experiencing life and figuring out more of who you are. Whoa, I know, a crazy idea. Never heard that before anywhere. And so if you spend a lot of that time figuring out a gender that you are not, you basically have to spend a bunch of time like not unlearning it, but now spending time learning the other side. And I understand how that could be stressful. 20s are for running those credit cards up so you can pay them in your 30s. No. Also, mental disorders aren't diseases unless they have a physiological reason for the disorder. So it's only considered a disorder if it hinders your ability to function as a human being in society. So if society accepts trans people, it's no longer considered a mental disorder and it's not a disease. Yes, correct. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Guys, water break. Make sure you're staying hydrated. I just realized how unhydrated I was. Okay, so I wanted to talk about that stuff, but what I really wanted to talk about was, I guess, the information around trans people and how long trans people have been around, and that it's not just this recent phenomenon. There is a, Let me see if I can find it. There is a actually really, really great Wikipedia article on trans people over history. I don't know if anyone's actually seen this. I don't know when they made this. I think it's probably within the past few years or something, but it's actually very, very good. It talks a lot about different gender roles and how people haven't fit into genders over time and history and different cultures for a very, very long time. And that this is not just the woke media suddenly inventing something. It's always been around, just like gay people have always been around. There's a reason there are fucking Greek vase paintings of dudes sucking each other's dicks. It's been around forever. It's not unnatural. It's within the normal realms of human experience. And it's the same thing with trans people. It's just that being trans requires more effort to, I would say, if you experience gender dysphoria, it takes more effort from you to feel comfortable because there's so much that you have to work on it. At least from the perspective if you're trying to transition visibly, right? Whereas being gay is just not the same way. You don't have to do any transitioning. You don't have to present any type of way. People will just know who you are and respect or disrespect who you are just based on how you present, essentially. Denims, they weren't gay, they were sucking the venom out. Yeah. So let's see. Painter horny as fuck though. You really got to put it on a vase though. Yeah. So I wanted to talk about this. Can we get a link? Yeah, of course. Mayor Cat, hi. Oh. Oh. I can't tell if this is a troll post or not, but Sneeko said he's down to collab with you. Are you down too since he was unbanned on Twitch? No. I'm sorry, dude. I don't collab with people who jokingly salute to Hitler. That's my line. Okay? No. Going to be honest. Me personally. History books talking about two men that spent their entire lives together as best friends. Yeah. Alrighty. So this Wikipedia page, let me read some of it. Accounts of transgender people have been identified going back to ancient times and cultures worldwide. Modern terms and meanings of transgender, gender identity, and gender roles only really emerged in the 1950s and 60s. As a result, opinions vary on how to categorize historical accounts of gender variant people and identities. The Gallianic priests of classical antiquity have been interpreted by some scholars as transgender or third gender. The transfeminine Kathui and Hijra gender roles have persisted for thousands of years in Thailand and the Indian subcontinent. In Arabia, Khanith have occupied a third gender role attested since the 7th century CE. Traditional roles for transgender women and men have existed in many African societies, with some persisting to the modern day. Northern American indigenous, fluid, and third gender roles, including the Navajo, Nadlihi, I'm so sorry, have existed since the pre-colonial times. And then it lists off a couple examples of people that we are relatively sure were discussing the trans experience. So some medieval European documents have studied possible accounts of trans people. Colonymus, Ben Colonymus's lament for being born a man instead of a woman has been seen as an early account of gender dysphoria, which it doesn't necessarily have to have been, but I guess I haven't read it, so I would have to read it myself and find out. John/Eleanor Rickner, a male-bodied British person arrested in 1394 while living and doing sex work dressed as a woman, has been interpreted as some contemporary scholars as trans. In Japan, accounts of trans people go back to the Edo period. In Indonesia, there are millions of trans/third gender Waria and the extant pre-Islamic Bigot society recognizes 5 gender roles. That is to say, only one specific thing, right? If you think trans people are being invented because of the woke media as a way to corrupt the youth, I need you to recognize first and foremost that if any of these things are new to you and you've never heard of any of these things before, it's possible, hear me out, that being trans is totally normal and well within the human condition and has been around for thousands of years. And if that's what people want to do, they should be able to do it. Clearly, it's not this new thing that was invented. We just didn't have a name for it or ways to help any of these people that wanted help, the ones that wanted. We did not have HRT. We didn't have any of these things. That doesn't mean it's unnatural. That would be like saying, oh, polio? No, we had polio for thousands of years. Why are we suddenly like doing something about it? Yeah, what's up? Well, who cares if somebody gets polio? It's like, wait, but we can just like, we have the vaccine for this. In the same sort of way, it's like, hey, actually, if you're trans and you experience gender dysphoria, we have ways to help people who experience gender dysphoria. And we should do that instead of just letting them suffer and not live the life that they want to live as a crazy idea. I know, wild. Besides that point, there is also like kind of the common sense point, which is, do you really think every single trans person is lying? Like to themselves? Like every single trans person out there has convinced themselves wrongfully that they are not their assigned gender at birth. You really believe that? That's kind of a crazy conspiracy theory to believe. You think all of these people, every single one of them is just like lying about experiencing gender dysphoria. Are you sure? Like, are you sure with that? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Me personally, I don't believe that. I feel like if you speak to any trans people, like any in real life, in the real world, you can see how happy they are versus how not happy they were prior to, as one example, transitioning. It seems weird to just cope and be like, no, all these people, they don't actually believe it. They're doing it for attention, or they're being tricked into thinking that this is a real thing that's natural and it's not. Do you really think so? You really think all those people are lying? This is what I was talking about. This is a totally unrelated video, but it's a tweet that says 1 year of playing Melee, and someone else quote tweeting it saying, I love this. You can see progressively the smile glow and become more genuine and more genuine, and it's beautiful. And it
was literally night and day when I started testosterone. I'm still disabled, but I can do much more now and feel less depressed than before starting T.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's my experience with the trans people that I have known. They have all pretty much described this helplessness and this like extreme depression with their life and how they present and going outside and dealing with people and talking to people. All of it was absolutely terrible until they decided they wanted to start transitioning. And it just became like a world of a difference. And it was like, wow, I'm actually like happy on a day-to-day basis and I'm not getting caused suffering for no reason. This is amazing. I think this is a good example of that. That if you know anyone who's trans, this video should be, it should explain what I'm talking about perfectly. Like actually glowing. I'm happy for her, but fuck Melee. Yeah, true. True. like, there's no one coming for your kids, man. There's no one doing that. I don't know how to tell you this. It's literally just people that want to be happy in life. That's it. That's what's happening. That's all. The same thing you and I want, man. The same thing. Naomi, thank you so much for the 6 months of gifted to Joodlebird. Thank you. And then what these people will say, I think, in my experience about trans people is just like, oh, well, it's fake. Like, they're making it up. That's a soft science. It's just people saying some stupid shit and everybody else is believing it. There's nothing that backs it up. So let's talk about hard science really quickly. First of all, last time I checked, they've done, at least in some instances, that they've done studies on this. They've done like brain scans on cis women and trans women and cis men and trans men. And they found that for whatever reasons, the same parts of the brain that light up for cis people tend to be associated with the same type of parts that light up in their brains as trans people. So like cis women had closer brain scans to trans women than the trans women had to cis men. That is to say that there's a phenomenon that happens that's very interesting, that it seems like there is something that's actually like there, that is innate, that is not someone just pretending in the world. In the same way that like, if you're straight, if you're 100% straight, I would presume like the pleasure part of your brain would light up if you saw sexy lady. Straight dude specifically. Whereas if you were a gay dude and you're genuinely gay, you're not just pretending to be gay for the attention, that part of your brain should light up when you see dick and balls, as an example. Okay, this is a very, very cishet example, just to be clear, but I'm trying to describe it in a way that even bigots can understand. But obviously, you know, attraction is way more complicated than this. This is the 3rd grade biology point. Specifically to say that there is something that is innate, that it doesn't matter about the subjectivity, all the sociology we have on it, all of the self-described happiness that we have on it. You don't have to believe any of that stuff. There is a hard science that shows that trans women and trans men and trans people are not just collectively lying to everyone, and that there is hard science behind it that shows, oh, actually, yeah, you can measure someone's brain. You can measure someone's gender dysphoria. You can measure how it impacts their brain. In the same way that people thought that body dysmorphia wasn't real until we had like eye scan tests. And it's like, oh, wow, if you have body dysphoria, your eyes don't focus on faces the same exact way that someone who didn't have it focuses. You focus on all these weird things, and it makes you struggle to be able to read faces because you're not looking at the right things. Same thing. There's hard science behind it. You don't have to believe it. And if still you refuse to believe it, you don't have to believe me. You can believe scientists that fucking study this shit. It's both, just SRI. Have you guys seen this story about these spiny rats in Japan? A gene mystery. How are rats with no Y chromosome born male? In most mammals, us included, biological sex is determined by a lottery between 2 letters, X and Y, the sex chromosomes. Inherent one X from each mom and dad and develop ovaries and a womb and a vagina. Inherit an X from a mom and a Y from a dad and develop a testes and penis. But there are rare, mysterious exceptions. A small number of rodents have no Y chromosomes, yet they are born either as males or females. Now, scientists may be one step closer to figuring out how sex determination works in one of these rodents. That is to say, the TLDR on this is that chromosomes have to pair to create a human being, and X's pair easier with other X's than Y's do. And so over millions of years, the Y chromosome can just disappear, which is crazy, by the way. because they just struggle to pair as easily as the X's do. And in this specific species, that's exactly what happened. Okay, can you do neck cracking? Yeah, I can crack your neck if you'd like, if you consent. Turtle sex is determined by the temperature the eggs are in? What? Most turtles are subject to temperature-dependent sex determination? That is so cool. That's so cool. Going back for a second. Hold up. Let's close these. Oh, didn't mean to close all this. How is it that these rats don't have any Y chromosomes and yet they're still being born male? How is this a thing that is happening? It's almost like our understanding of biology and sex and gender are very bad and very reductive. For you to say something as silly as vagina woman, penis male, you have like, oh, sorry, man, excuse me. You've lost the plot totally. Can you share the link? Yeah, of course. This stuff is way more complicated than you think it is. And your understanding of it is very, very poor. Sorry, he said vagina girls to be specific. Excuse me. Sorry. And even if that was true, even if he wanted to believe that, what about these people? What category does he put these people into? People with complete androgen insensitivity syndrome who are physically female, physically appear female, but have XY chromosomes. It's almost like, also there are single X and triple X chromosomes. Yeah, it's almost like this stuff is way more complicated than that. And gender is a grouping we created to better describe a role that we created. We created men and women as groupings because it was an easy way to group people. That doesn't mean that that is going to encompass everybody. And that's fine. Vagina curls were unforgettable. Oh God. Personally, I define a woman as a person born from a man's rib, like the Bible told me. Amen. Amen. With X, X, Y, Y, X, 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 Y, but no Y, Y. X is the more autosomal of the two sex chromosomes. Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I wanted to say on that topic, basically, on the Nickmercs topic. I think everything relating to Nickmercs is really funny because, like, he's so confidently wrong. Like, so genuinely confidently wrong that he's right. That he's such a simpleton understanding of sex. And he's wrong about it, and he has no idea that he's wrong because he's never went to Google and looked it up himself. It's never happened once that he went online and was like, is there any hard science behind trans people? Has this ever happened in history ever before? No, that was just like a step too far, which is just crazy. It's so crazy to me. I'm glad people like this, though. It's still funny every time. I've watched this like 5 or 6 times now, and it's still funny every time. But I'm glad people like this tweet. I absolutely love the idea of a guy who makes traditional masculinity his entire personality, but he cannot fathom that gender is a social construct. To be fair, this is the guy whose best friend thought islands floated.
Into my grass. I wonder when I'd hit the ocean. You know what I was thinking about? about last night, dude? I was kind of thinking about, like, when I'm in Florida, how deep do I have to dig to get to the ocean? I was laying in my bed last night thinking about that, bro. Like, if I just, like, took a shovel and I just started to dig into my grass, I wonder when I'd hit the ocean, bro. I'm stupid? Guys, what are you talking about? Dude, the panhandle is, like, right next to the ocean, bro. So if I dig, like, 5 feet, I may see the ocean. You know what I'm saying? Tim, it's not how that works. What? The ocean is under the ground, bro, right? What are you guys talking about, bro? Chat, dude, listen. No? Dude, no, I'm serious. Like, Hawaii. If you're on Hawaii and if someone dug 500 feet, I don't know how far they gotta go, but eventually you could hit the ocean, right? No? Yo, pause for a second, bro. What are you guys saying to me? Hang on. I'm serious, bro. What? Wait, guys, dude. Hawaii. No, I've got to be right? I'm saying hypothetically. Obviously, I don't think someone can dig through the bottom of Hawaii. But the point I'm making is if in a hypothetical world you dug to the bottom of Hawaii, the ocean would be there, right?
How does he think, like, volcanoes work? He has to know there are volcanoes on Hawaii. How does he think that the volcanoes on Hawaii work? Very, very hot water. I love the people being like, he was joking when he literally says this in the clip.
I'm serious, bro. What? Wait,
I'm serious, bro.
dude. Hawaii. No, I've got to be right? I'm saying hypothetically. Obviously, I don't think someone can dig through the bottom of Hawaii. But the point I'm making is if in a hypothetical world you dug to the bottom of Hawaii, the ocean would be there, right? Are you guys serious? What would be there? Do I think islands are floating? Sort of. The Earth's core is down there, bro. Don't homeschool your kids, bro. Because, I mean, if you're smart, do it. But I mean, my parents, you know, and then I am a result of that. So if you want to homeschool your kids and you're, you know, intellectual, Godspeed. But I don't know.
Wormy? Is that Wormy? Oh, man. I love that clip. It never fails. It never ever fails. We're doomed, man. No, we're good. We're good. We're totally good, man. We're good, bro. We're good.
By the way, did you see Hassan get somewhat praised for his fashion sense in this video?
Real?
Link.
I mean, to be honest, at this point, I'm certain that Hassan is just trolling when he wears, like, ugly stuff. It's just... Because sometimes he wears some banging, busting stuff, and sometimes he just does not. So I'm convinced. For sure. Some of it, maybe he's just trying to break new ground or something. I don't know. Maybe. Anyways. Oh my god, that photo's so good. So good. Oh, gosh. Anyways. Yeah, I would be very surprised if Twitch doesn't ban him, actually, to be honest. Because I feel like this falls into, like, hate speech? Saying trans people don't exist, given the fact that, like, if you look at any medical literature, you know that that's not true. And saying that trans people don't exist and that they live in a fantasy land is contributing to hateful behavior. Even on Twitch. Why did they unban Sneeko? I think Twitch is trying to be better about not over banning. And I think that they might be going in the other direction too hard. So yeah. I think with people like Sneeko getting unbanned, we also get to see a lot of other people get unbanned that we didn't know existed. There are, like, for example, one example is there are creators who have gotten banned during certain like metas, and the larger creators that did the same thing also got banned, but they got unbanned, and the smaller creators that did it did not. And so I think that across the board, they're trying to be lenient and remove a lot of bans. We just only see the people that we don't think should get banned, or sorry, unbanned rather. Twitch is weirder than YouTube with this, for real. I feel like YouTube is a little bit more consistent, but like I feel like Twitch management changes frequently and they keep changing what they want the platform to be. The only upside is that he almost certainly will be banned again soon. Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, for sure. I agree. I think that it's only a matter of time before he gets unbanned again. I think the idea is just if someone did something wrong on Twitch years ago, maybe they should get unbanned and be able to try again, right? Because Twitch has a prerogative to have more streamers on their platform. So, moving on though. Moving on. I wanted to talk about the woman who said the N-word and couldn't believe that there were consequences for her actions. Who I think now is becoming a what are these medical notes saying he was wrong? I'm keen to read. You might want to go back an hour in the VOD. All right, where is it? Oh my God, I had this story I wanted to share with you guys. This shit was crazy. Oh, this story was really cool too. I don't know if you guys saw it, but iShowSpeed donated half the money he won from the Mr. Beast thing, namely $50,000, to Palestinian relief. I have to say, iShowSpeed being based on the front of Palestinians was not something I was expecting. Not something I was expecting. TBQH. It was not on my bingo board. So much good shit. I don't know if you guys saw this. Last thing on the Nickmercs topic. People have been quote tweeting Nickmercs with this video. And it's just like a video that says, I'm coming out. I forget the details of it. Let me see if I can find it. I think multiple people have done this. Why am I struggling to find this? This is what I get for not saving the post. Oh, here it is. This is it. And he's been blocking people. He's been blocking people who have been tweeting this out. Drea later posted that. Here it is, the screenshot. She got blocked by him, unsurprisingly. Let me see. Here it is. Good morning to my favorite pronoun ever. I just think it's funny to be such a free speech guy and like, this is so far for you. This is like, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see this. I'm not mad. It's like, also, I think I just found out that I finally got blocked as well. It was only forever, but this was quote tweeting Nickmercs and says you're unable to view this post. So I think he might have personally blocked me. Oh my god. Real question mark? Real? Do I get to join? Hate to block the boobies, but you gotta go. You gotta go. Oh my god, I made it. Oh man. What is it? What is this? I told you to go look in the VOD. Why are you typing in my chat? There is no ethical or rational justification for the provision of hormones, and especially surgery, to minors who identify as trans. It's a complete inversion of medical ethics, no evidence of medical benefit, and extraordinary risk of permanent harm. That. But science doesn't agree with you. You know, we currently give cis kids hormone blockers, right? And we have been. You know where hormone blockers came from, right? We've had them before we recognized trans people. And we gave them to cis kids for things unrelated to trans people for ages. Have you heard of precocious puberty, sir? I just would like you to know that me personally, you don't have to follow my rule of thumb, but me personally, when I'm confident about a topic, which you seem pretty confident about, and then somebody tells me about a phenomenon that I don't know about, I usually start to reevaluate. If you don't know that puberty blockers have been around long before trans people have been open about their identity, then I don't know what to tell you. I'm quite aware, but you just said for what things precisely? If you were quite aware, then why did you ask me for what things precisely? Giving puberty blockers for trans-identifying kids is an entirely different indication. But you just said there was no ethical or rational justification. And that it had an extraordinary risk of permanent harm. If it has an extraordinary risk of permanent harm, why do we give cis kids puberty blockers at all ever? Again, what indication are cis kids getting hormone blockers for? Okay, so I'm just making sure you agree that you're not aware then. That's fine. Precocious puberty. For a medical abnormality. But you said it has an extraordinary risk of permanent harm and that there is no ethical or rational justification. So it sounds like there are rational justifications. It's to treat excess hormones. I mean, yeah, I mean, the reason why it's used isn't really relevant. It's the fact that earlier you said that there was no ethical or rational justification. The reason why it's used is the entire reason. So there are rational justifications then. Yeah, for trans identifying minors. I mean, you didn't say that. I mean, you said that there is extraordinary risk of permanent harm, and it's a complete inversion of medical ethics. It sounds like you don't think that there's extraordinary risk of permanent harm if you're down to give it to some cis kids. And I do have to ask, what is the permanent harm? You're a doctor, right? That's what you say. What's the permanent harm? I would love to know. And what's the risk percentage? Sorry, a medical provider, excuse me. What's the extraordinary risk of permanent harm? Someone can't detransition, permanent dismemberment, inability to revert surgical changes, inhibition of frontal lobe development for either gender. For the hormone argument specifically. Can you link a source for this? Because this is just like the surgery stuff, but I've never argued with you about surgery. And the thing is, I don't know if you know this, but there aren't any hospitals giving surgery to 16-year-olds willy-nilly. That's not a thing. But Libs of TikTok did get she did make sure to threaten bombs to a trans-friendly hospital that wasn't giving out any surgeries. That happened. There are multiple clinics in the UK that perform surgeries. Texan Children's Hospital has been doing it. Can you post it? Post a link. I would love to know the specific Texan Children's Hospital that's performing surgery on minors. What do you intend to do with that information, Denim? What are you going to do? Sir, it says in the thing you linked, if I just control find surgery, it says here what we offer, determining timing of surgery. This doesn't say that they give surgeries. If they gave the surgeries and they were showing their services, they would have wrote providing surgery. I mean, you have to understand that this is a hospital, which is, or like a medical practice, which is a business. If they perform certain acts, they're going to advertise that they do that. If you're a hospital and you want people to know the services you can provide, you would write them down. There's a lawsuit against a surgeon who was a resident in Texas right now for sharing the practice with the state board since it was recently banned. Do you want to link it? So you agree this doesn't say that they do surgery. Also, this isn't even for trans people, by the way, Denim. Disorders of sexual differentiation results from discordance between chromosomes. It looks like some of it at least is. But yeah, it does look like, I think this section specifically might be about, yeah, I mean, looks like this might be about intersex people actually. Oh, yeah, it looks like it actually might be about intersex people, not trans people. People who have like things like androgen insensitivity syndrome. Because for example, for people who have androgen insensitivity syndrome, for anyone who doesn't know, you have XY chromosomes, but your body doesn't produce androgen or testosterone sometimes. And so the child can have like testes that don't ever develop, but they are like recessed, and physically everywhere else they're female. And so in instances like that, there is a higher risk of testicular cancer for those people because you can't, I don't know how to say this, feel your balls. And so sometimes elective operations can be done on those kids to prevent testicular cancer, since they aren't going to naturally ever form. In some instances, you can opt to do that, but that's a surgery generally that they do for people who are adults. And also that's like one of the instances where we kind of let children determine their gender almost across the board, because being intersex is inherently not fitting into one of these binaries. We let the kid determine what they are. So yeah, it does look like this is talking more specifically about, actually it even says it, children with any of the following diagnoses: ambiguous genitalia, androgen insensitivity syndrome, congenital adrenal hyperplasia, disorders of sexual differentiation with ovotesticular component, genetic disorders of gonadal determination, and so on and so forth, Turner syndrome. So yeah, this is actually just talking about intersex people. Which, yeah, intersex people do absolutely need surgery, because those are instances where there can be a greater risk to you as an intersex person, depending on what condition you might have. It's kind of like how being double jointed can also mean that you will have a higher chance of arthritis. So yeah. So are you claiming that no surgical procedures have been performed on minors in the US ever? Of course not. That would be ridiculous. I'm saying, I mean, if a kid can get cancer, I hope that a hospital is willing to perform surgery. Just because it's a kid doesn't mean you can't perform surgery. So no, I've never made that claim before, ever. I am saying, though, if you're claiming that there's this massive problem with children getting surgeries to transition, the burden of proof is on you to provide that. Also, yes, circumcision, yeah. You're the one claiming it, so it is your job to then procure the information on this. You started the stream with the claim? I started the stream with the claim that Nickmerc shouldn't be such an asshole. That's what I said. I didn't say anything about surgeries on children. But I would love to see a clip where I said it. We definitely started talking about surgeries on children because you wanted to talk about surgeries on children. But I mean, listen, man, okay? if you want to believe what you want to believe, even if science doesn't back you up, that's your right as an American. It is your American right to refuse to believe anything. It's true. It's true. It's my American right to be a dumbass if I want to, just like it's yours. This is the last message I will engage with, and then past this, I would love to talk about the racist lady. So you believe it is ethically justified to perform surgery on any minor that identifies as trans? You made that up. You made that up. I haven't said that. Oh, I do want to see this. I didn't read this. Texas Attorney General investigations second Children's Hospital for transition-related care. Legislation recently passed a bill that would bar minors from receiving this medical care, but has not been signed. Okay. Attorney General is investigating it. Where does it, you think it says anything about surgery? Because the thing is, gender-related care can mean therapy, just in case anyone wants to know. It can be anything from therapy to surgery. Gender-friendly care is umbrella. Yeah. Gender, oh, it actually says it ranges from socially transitioning, using different pronouns or dressing differently, to puberty blockers, hormone therapy, and surgical interventions. Recently passed a bill that would bar minors from receiving that medical care, including puberty blockers. And I mean, even the article says, though such surgery is rare for minors, it doesn't even list any examples of it yet. Maybe, let's see. That's it. It doesn't say that anyone was getting surgery. It also doesn't say who's getting surgery. The surgeries that are occurring on minors because of gender are almost exclusively, I wouldn't be surprised if it's like close to 100% for intersex kids who, in a lot of instances, need surgery because there are health consequences of not getting surgery. So it just, personally for me, like I said earlier, guys, I would be a little embarrassed going into someone's chat and being like, you know, we need to stop. We need to make sure this stops happening. We need to stop. We need to make sure, but not being able to provide a single example of it happening. It would be like if I showed up at your house, Bender-san, and was like, Bender-san, you need to stop eating dog shit, like dog feces. You need to stop doing it. And you're like, but I'm not doing it. And I'm like, no. You have to stop doing it. You have to stop eating your own shit. I'm sorry. I don't know how to tell you this. And you're like, well, can you show me an example of me having done this? No, but I'm going to outlaw it. I'm going to make sure that Congress signs a bill making sure that you can't do it anymore. And you're like, but it's not happening. I literally provided a link. Sir, we saw your link. It didn't say anything. It didn't say what you said it was. You said a doctor was being sued, or a hospital was being sued in Texas for providing surgery care to trans kids. This article doesn't say that. I mean, the article says something that you can interpret as that if you don't critically read it. You should be able to find statistics easily enough. They don't violate HIPAA. Exactly. HIPAA is just that your individual personal details are hidden. It doesn't, I mean, we know how many people have gotten eye surgeries for cataracts in the US, right? And how many kids are like obese, right? We just don't publicize the people's names with that data. So yeah, I'm sorry to tell you that, but like this link you link doesn't say what you think it says, but that's okay. That's okay, man. It's the largest in the country at giving gender care, which could be therapy. And intersex kids can get surgery. Let's see. Sir, this still doesn't prove that these are cis kids that are transitioning. Top surgeries, U.S. patients 13 to 17 undergoing mastectomy with a prior gender dysphoria diagnosis. The ultimate step in gender-affirming medical treatment is surgery, which is uncommon in patients under 18, which is, by the way, in the U.S., happened a total of less than 300 times a year. Our population is 330 million Americans. 300 kids a year. The intersex population is like 1%, I think, if anyone is curious. So that's still not defining that, but we'll continue. Some children's hospitals don't offer any surgery to minors, requiring that they be adults before deciding on procedures. Komodo analysis of insurance claim found 56 genital surgeries among patients 13 to 17 with a prior gender dysphoria diagnosis. Among teens, top surgery to remove breast is more common. I'm assuming that this is specifically related to the gender dysphoria diagnosis. In the 3 years ending in 2021, at least 776 mastectomies were performed in the U.S. on patients 13 to 17 with a gender dysphoria diagnosis. This tally does not include procedures that were paid for out of pocket. You know that this article doesn't talk about cis kids, right? This is not saying the number of cis kids that got top surgery. This says that 280 children in a country with 330 million people, with a population of, let's see, how many intersex people are born a year in the U.S.? Estimates of the number of intersex people born each year in the U.S. range from 1 in 2,000 or 1 in 100, depending on the definition of intersex that's used. So let's say 1 in 2,000, right? Let's go as conservative as we can be. How many children are born in a year? Born in the U.S. 3.6 million children. So if 1 out of every 2,000 kids is intersex, and that's on a conservative end, and there are 3 million kids a year, this means that even on the most conservative end, at least 1,500 kids a year are intersex. You know, it's more probable than anything else that this is talking about kids who are intersex getting surgery. Because we've been giving surgery to intersex kids for a long time. Unsurprisingly. This headline doesn't say that this is the number of cis kids getting mastectomy. This isn't talking about that. It's not talking about that. You have to prove that claim. You're assuming this information. You still have to prove the claim. Sorry to tell you that. So if you can find me data that shows the number of cis kids that have gotten surgery, gender affirming care, please go for it. Notice how you don't have this information, but you think this strongly. You believe it very strongly. Anyways, guys. Usually they perform surgery on intersex babies to make them more male or more female, and that's the only problem. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what happens with a lot of intersex kids is that we assign them a gender despite the fact that we know that they are intersex. And then later in life, there are a lot of instances of people who find out that they're intersex and realize, wait, I didn't want to be assigned female. I have XY chromosomes and I feel more like a man than I do a woman. And it looks like they just changed my genitals so that I could fit more cleanly in one of these boxes, but I don't like the box that I'm in. And we usually give those kids care because they deserve to be able to make that decision. But I get it. Reading comprehension is hard. Okay, I get it. I get it. It is crazy, though, that you think what you think so proudly and so strongly, and you're down to shout it in other people's chats, but you don't have any links to prove any of what you're saying. Like, none of it. There hasn't been a single link that has proven that there is an influx of cis children getting surgery. Like XX chromosome, female, assigned female at birth. That's what cis means. It means that your genitals match your gender expression. You were assigned male at birth. You think you're a man. That's what being cis is. You're cis, if you didn't know. And then deciding they want to transition. That's what every article stated. Oh my, guys. Oh no. He doesn't know what cis means. Nowhere here does it say that these kids are cis. Oh my God. Oh. We can't fix him, guys. We can't. That's okay. We got to let him go. Oh, he's so dumb. Oh, he's so dumb. Last chat message we will engage with, and then we will say goodbye forever. I'm sorry, I had too much fun with it. Who is making the claim that cis kids getting surgery is the problem? It's about trans-identifying kids getting gender-affirming surgery. I'll say it last time. Every single link you provided could be talking about intersex people. None of those specify cis kids who are healthy reproduction for their sex and gender, deciding they want to be trans and then getting surgery. The articles that you linked could very well be talking about intersex kids getting surgery, because nowhere in there does it say that those kids transition from being cis. None of them. Not a single one, sir. not a single one. Oh, we have to make sure it's actually you and we're not dealing with a robot. Yeah, the Pew Research page was like, how do you still not get this? Why are you still refreshing this page? Or, you can't be a human being. There's no way anyone's this stupid that they need to refresh this page 1,000,000 times. Unbelievable. Anyways, man, that's really sad. Guys, remember, anytime you feel dumb, remember that this guy exists. You're talking about nothing. None of these articles are talking about intersex people getting surgery, which is a perfectly accepted medical indication. Just remember, guys, remember one thing, okay? All right? You guys are capable of understanding that there is a need to specify that there are people who experience gender dysphoria. This can apply to kids who are intersex and also kids who are not intersex. So if the article says people who are experiencing gender dysphoria, here's the rates of them getting surgery, that could be talking about kids who are intersex or kids who are not intersex. It could be talking about both. And unless they specify how many of those kids are cis, you don't know how many kids are getting surgery that are cis. You don't know. Aren't people born as intersex like the same amount of people born redhead? Yeah. Yeah, correct. If here's the thing, right? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you the truth, right? If there are 300 kids getting surgery and 299 of them are intersex and one of them is someone who was cis and is transitioning, one person out of 330 million people, I promise you, you do not care about those issues. Not in other regards. And I know it's hard. I know it's difficult, okay? Where's the evidence 99% of them are intersex? That's my point. That's my point. It doesn't show us how many are or aren't. 100% of them could be intersex. 100% of them could have been cis. You're the one claiming that there is an influx of cis people getting surgery. You didn't prove it. You posted something that could have been talking about exclusively intersex people because it didn't prove it. It's your job to prove the claims you make. Okay? But if that's too hard, I understand. If I can't convince you, it's over. I'm sorry. I think if I can't convince you, ooh, good luck. Good luck. I don't think they're a medical provider, but described as a traditional liberal and political prosecutor here. There's a VOD for the conversation. Wait, what is this? Oh, no. No. Oh, gosh. All right. Okay. No more getting one guide. We're done. I haven't gotten one guide in a long time. Okay. Actually, that was pretty fun. I had a little bit of fun with that, to be honest. I think let's let the chiropractor continue talking to himself. I don't know how you cannot understand very basic statistics. It's very weird to me. I don't know how you can say, like, here's an example of cis kids becoming trans and getting surgery, and then post something that doesn't prove that at all. It's pretty crazy. But you know what? You go break some people's spines. Live your best life, girl boss. Okay, have fun.